The travel revolution, unshackling your global dreams. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast. Today, we're about to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about travel. Prepare to have your mind expanded, your assumptions shattered, and your horizons broadened beyond your wildest dreams. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Dr. Barrett Matthews, a true visionary in the realm of travel and lifestyle design. Dr. Matthews isn't just another travel guru or self-proclaimed expert. He's a revolutionary thinker who has dedicated his life to democratizing global exploration and making the world accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial situation. His groundbreaking research and innovative strategies have already transformed thousands of lives, allowing people from all walks of life to experience the richness and diversity our planet has to offer. Dr. Matthews' work goes far beyond simple travel hacks or money-saving tips. He's pioneering a completely new paradigm of global citizenship, one that challenges our fundamental assumptions about work, life, and the boundaries between them. His mission is nothing short of revolutionary, to break down the barriers that have kept so many of us tethered to one place, opening up a world of possibilities that most of us never even dared to dream about. As we dive into the insights and strategies Dr. Matthews shared with me, I want you to open your mind, forget everything you think you know about travel, about what's possible, about what you can and can't afford. Because I promise you, by the end of this talk, your perception of what's achievable will be forever altered. Imagine for a moment that everything you've been taught about travel is wrong. That the conventional wisdom we've all accepted as gospel truth is actually a set of shackles holding us back from experiencing the world in its fullest, most affordable glory. Well, my friends, prepare to have those shackles shattered, because that's exactly what Dr. Matthews revealed in our conversation. For decades, we've been conditioned to believe that travel is a luxury, something reserved for the wealthy or for those willing to sacrifice years of savings for a brief escape. We've been led to believe that seeing the world comes with a hefty price tag, that exotic destinations and luxurious accommodations are out of reach for the average person. But what if I told you that this narrative is not just misleading, but entirely false? Dr. Matthews has uncovered a startling truth. We've been approaching travel all wrong. The traditional methods we've relied on for booking trips, the ones we thought were giving us the best deals, have actually been taking advantage of us. It's a shocking revelation, one that turns the entire travel industry on its head. But here's where it gets really interesting. Dr. Matthews isn't just pointing out the problem. He's offering a solution that's so counterintuitive, so radical, that it sounds almost too good to be true. He's developed a new way of booking travel that not only saves thousands of dollars, but also opens up possibilities for seeing the entire world. Possibilities that most people never thought were within their reach. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like one of those too good to be true scenarios, right? I had the same skepticism when I first heard about Dr. Matthews' approach. But as he shared his insights and strategies, I realized that we're on the cusp of a travel revolution. Let's start with one of the most mind-bending concepts Dr. Matthews introduced, the idea that you can actually get paid to travel. Yes, you heard that right. While most of us are scraping together every penny to fund our vacations, there are people out there who have cracked the code to turn travel into a profitable venture. It's not about becoming a travel blogger or a social media influencer. No, this is a whole new paradigm that challenges our fundamental assumptions about the economics of travel. Dr. Matthews shared the story of Sarah, a former accountant from Chicago. Sarah had always dreamed of traveling the world, but like so many of us, she believed it was financially out of reach. That is until she discovered Dr. Matthews' strategies. Within 6 months of implementing his techniques, Sarah was not only traveling full-time, but was actually earning more money than she had in her corporate job. How? By leveraging unique opportunities in the travel industry that most people don't even know exist. Sarah's story isn't unique. Dr. Matthews has helped countless individuals transform their lives through travel. Take Michael, a retired teacher from Florida. Michael had saved diligently for years, hoping to travel in his golden years. But even with his savings, he feared he'd only be able to afford a few short trips. After attending one of Dr. Matthews' workshops, Michael completely reimagined his retirement. Now he spends most of the year traveling, staying in luxury accommodations for a fraction of their usual cost. and even turning a profit by utilizing some of Dr. Matthews' more advanced strategies. These stories might sound exceptional, but Dr. Matthews insists they're not. With the right knowledge and approach, these experiences are accessible to anyone willing to challenge their preconceptions about travel and personal finance. But that's just the beginning. Dr. Matthews went on to expose one of the biggest scams in the travel industry: timeshares. For years, people have been pouring tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars into timeshares, believing they were making a smart investment in future vacations. But here's the kicker: Dr. Matthews revealed that you can book the same timeshare experiences for pennies on the dollar. It's a revelation that's sure to send shockwaves through the industry and leave many wondering why they've been throwing their money away all these years. Let me share with you the story of the Johnsons, a family from Texas. They had invested over $50,000 in a timeshare, believing it would provide them with affordable vacations for years to come. But they found themselves struggling with rising maintenance fees and limited availability. After learning about Dr. Matthews' strategies, they were able to book the same type of accommodations, often in the very same resorts, for less than $100 per night. The kicker? They didn't need to sit through any high-pressure sales pitches or commit to long-term contracts. The Johnsons were able to sell their timeshare and now enjoy more frequent, more flexible, and more affordable vacations than ever before. Now, I can almost hear the collective gasp from all of you listening. I know it sounds unbelievable. I was in your shoes not too long ago. But as Dr. Matthews laid out his strategies and backed them up with real-world examples, I couldn't deny the power of his approach. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you put off a dream vacation because you thought it was out of your financial reach? How often have you settled for a less exciting destination or a shorter trip because you believe that's all you could afford? Dr. Matthews' insights are about to blow those limitations wide open. But here's where it gets really exciting. This isn't just about saving money or even about traveling more. Dr. Matthews' approach is about fundamentally changing our relationship with travel and, by extension, with the world itself. It's about democratizing the experience of global exploration, making it accessible to people from all walks of life. Imagine a world where travel isn't a rare luxury, but a regular part of your lifestyle. A world where you're not constrained by traditional notions of work and vacation, where the boundaries between home and away begin to blur in the most exciting ways. This is the vision that Dr. Matthews is presenting, and it's one that has the potential to transform not just individual lives, but entire societies. Consider the story of Elena, a single mother from New Mexico. Elena had always dreamed of showing her daughter the world, but as a struggling waitress, she could barely afford rent, let alone international travel. After stumbling upon one of Dr. Matthews' online seminars, Elena decided to take a leap of faith. Within a year, she and her daughter had visited 5 countries, staying in beautiful accommodations that she never thought she'd be able to afford. But more than that, Elena found a new career path. Using Dr. Matthews' strategies, she started a small travel consulting business, helping other single parents realize their travel dreams. Today, Elena works remotely, traveling the world with her daughter and helping others do the same. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great, but surely there's a catch, right? I had the same thought. But as Dr. Matthews explained his methods, I realized that the only catch is our own limiting beliefs and the entrenched interests of an industry that profits from keeping us in the dark. The truth is, the travel industry has been keeping secrets from us for years. They've created a system that seems designed to confuse and overwhelm, making us believe that we need their expertise to navigate the complex world of bookings and reservations. But Dr. Matthews is pulling back the curtain, revealing that with the right knowledge and approach, anyone can become their own travel agent, and a remarkably effective one at that. Let's talk about one of the most revolutionary aspects of Dr. Matthews' approach, the way it challenges our conception of value in travel. We've been conditioned to equate high prices with quality experiences. We assume that if we're not paying top dollar, we're somehow settling for less. But Dr. Matthews flips this notion on its head. He introduced me to strategies that allow you to stay in luxury accommodations. We're talking 5-star hotels and resorts for a fraction of the advertised price. And it's not about cutting corners or sacrificing comfort. It's about understanding the hidden mechanics of the travel industry and leveraging that knowledge to your advantage. Take the case of David and Lisa, a couple from Oregon. They had always dreamed of staying in an overwater bungalow in Bora Bora. but with prices often exceeding $1,000 per night, they thought it would always remain a fantasy. After applying Dr. Matthews' techniques, they were able to book a week-long stay in one of these dream accommodations for less than $200 per night. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. They actually ended up making money on the trip through some of the more advanced strategies Dr. Matthews teaches. But it's not just about luxury for less. Dr. Matthews' approach is about optimizing every aspect of travel, from flights to accommodations, from local experiences to long-term stays. He's developed techniques that squeeze maximum value out of every travel dollar. And the result isn't just cheaper travel, it's better travel. Think about how this could change your life. Instead of one big vacation every year or two, you could be taking multiple trips. Instead of rushing down through destinations, trying to cram everything into a week or two, you could spend months really immersing yourself in new cultures. The possibilities are mind-boggling. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. If these strategies are so effective, why isn't everyone using them? Why haven't we heard about this before? The answer, according to Dr. Matthews, is a combination of industry gatekeeping and our own ingrained habits. The travel industry has a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. They profit from our ignorance, from our willingness to pay inflated prices because we don't know any better. And let's be honest, most of us are creatures of habit. We stick with what we know, even if it's not serving us well, because change can be uncomfortable. But here's the thing. Once you see behind the curtain, once you understand how the game is really played, you can't unsee it. And that's what Dr. Matthews is offering, a new set of eyes through which to view the world of travel. One of the most exciting aspects of Dr. Matthews' approach is how it intersects with the changing nature of work in our digital age. With remote work becoming increasingly common, the lines between home and away are blurring. Dr. Matthews' strategies don't just make travel more affordable, they make long-term, immersive travel experiences a viable lifestyle choice. Imagine being able to live in Bali for 3 months, working from a beachfront villa that costs less than your apartment back home, or spending a summer exploring European cities, all while maintaining your career and actually saving money. These aren't pipe dreams. With Dr. Matthews' approach, they're achievable realities. Let me tell you about Alex, a software developer from California. Alex was burned out from the high-pressure tech industry and dreamed of a different life. After discovering Dr. Matthews' work, Alex took a leap of faith. He negotiated a remote work arrangement with his employer and set off to travel the world. Using Dr. Matthews' strategies, Alex was able to live and work from 12 different countries over the course of a year, all while spending less than he had living in San Francisco. The experience not only rejuvenated Alex's passion for his work, but also led to a promotion as he brought fresh global perspectives to his role. But it's not just about extended stays in exotic locations. Dr. Matthews' strategies work just as well for weekend getaways and family vacations. Whether you're looking to relax on a Caribbean beach, explore ancient ruins, or immerse yourself in a bustling metropolis, his approach can make it happen for a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. Now, I know some of you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed. This is a lot to take in, and it represents a radical departure from everything we've been taught about travel. You might be wondering if you have what it takes to implement these strategies, if you're savvy enough to navigate this new world of travel hacking. Let me assure you, if I can do it, you can do it. Dr. Matthews has designed his approach to be accessible to everyone, regardless of your travel experience or technical know-how. It's not about becoming a master of complex systems. It's about understanding a few key principles and leveraging readily available tools and resources. One of the most powerful aspects of Dr. Matthews' approach is how it shifts your mindset. Once you start seeing travel through this new lens, you'll find opportunities everywhere. That dream destination you thought was out of reach. Suddenly, it's not only possible, but affordable. That bucket list experience you've been putting off. Now, it's just a matter of when, not if. But perhaps the most exciting part of all this is the ripple effect it can have on your life. When you remove the financial barriers to travel, when you start experiencing the world in this new immersive way, it changes you, it broadens your perspectives, enhances your creativity, and opens up new possibilities in every area of your life. Dr. Matthews shared stories of people who have used his strategies to completely transform their lives. People who've left behind unfulfilling jobs to become digital nomads. exploring the world while building successful online businesses, families who've been able to show their children the world, providing them with an education no classroom could match, retirees who've discovered that their golden years could be filled with more adventure and luxury than they ever imagined, all while stretching their retirement savings further than they thought possible. Take the story of Maria, a teacher from Arizona. Maria had always wanted to travel, but on a teacher's salary, she thought her options were limited. After learning Dr. Matthews' strategies, she not only began traveling extensively during her summer breaks, but also found a way to incorporate her travels into her teaching. She now leads educational trips for students, opening their eyes to the world while also earning additional income. Maria's students have become more engaged, more culturally aware, and more motivated to learn about the world around them. Or consider Jack, a recent college graduate burdened with student loans. Jack thought he'd have to put his travel dreams on hold for years while he paid off his debt. But after applying Dr. Matthews' techniques, Jack found a way to travel the world while actually paying off his loans faster than if he'd stayed home. By combining remote work opportunities with strategic travel choices, Jack visited 20 countries in 2 years, all while reducing his student loan balance by 40%. These stories aren't exceptions. They're becoming the new normal for those who embrace Dr. Matthews' philosophy. It's about more than just travel. It's about reimagining what's possible in life. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about promoting a get-rich-quick scheme or promising unrealistic outcomes. Dr. Matthews' approach requires effort, planning, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. But for those willing to embrace this new paradigm, the rewards are extraordinary. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge, a call to action that goes beyond just planning your next trip. I want you to fundamentally reconsider your relationship with travel, with work, with life itself. First, take a moment to think about your travel dreams, those destinations you've always wanted to visit, those experiences you've longed to have. Now, instead of asking yourself, can I afford this? Start asking, how can I make this happen? This shift in perspective is the first step on an incredible journey. Second, I challenge you to question every assumption you've held about travel. The next time you're planning a trip, don't just go to the usual booking sites. Take the time to explore alternatives, to dig deeper, to apply some of the principles we've discussed today. You might be surprised at what you find. Third, and perhaps most importantly, I want you to think bigger. Don't just plan a vacation, plan a life change. How can you incorporate more travel into your everyday existence? How can you use travel to enhance your career, your relationships, your personal growth? Dr. Matthews has opened our eyes to a world of possibilities, showing us that the life of travel and adventure we've always dreamed of is within our reach. He's provided us with the tools to break free from the constraints of traditional travel planning and to embrace a new, more fulfilling way of experiencing the world. But this isn't just about travel. It's about freedom. It's about taking control of your life and designing it on your own terms. It's about rejecting the limitations that society has placed on us and daring to live a life that most people only dream about. So I ask you, are you ready to revolutionize not just the way you travel, but the way you live? Are you prepared to leave behind the old, expensive, limiting ways of seeing the world and embrace this new, liberating approach? The choice is yours, but I can tell you from personal experience, once you see what's possible, there's no going back. Remember, the world is vast, beautiful, and more accessible than you've been led to believe. It's time to start exploring it on your terms. It's time to break free from the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. It's time to turn your travel dreams into your everyday reality. The adventure of a lifetime isn't just waiting for you, it's calling you. Will you answer? The revolution starts now with you. Safe travels, and may your journey be nothing short of transformative.